As we just heard there, the head of the Fire Brigade Union has described the Grenfell Tower disaster as a crime that should topple the government. Well, I'm now joined by the FBU's London regional official, Lucy Masoud. So, Lucy, if Grenfell is a crime, then I suppose the question is, who is the criminal?
Yes, Bill. I think Matt Rack, our General Secretary, is absolutely right. Now, the public, the Fire Brigade Union and, importantly, the victims of Grenfell have all put their faith in this public inquiry. Now, it's the responsibility of this government to ensure that the public inquiry is both, transparent, but also that the serious questions are answered. Now, the Fire Brigade Union, as Matt Rack has said at conference, the Fire Brigade Union have had concerns about this public inquiry right from the beginning. We're concerned that the remit isn't anywhere near as wide as it should be. It doesn't tackle social housing. It doesn't tackle the funding that's been cut to the fire service over the last 3 years. And importantly, it doesn't cover the readiness of other brigades within the country. Now, we know that at Grenfell, 250 firefighters fought that fire. Over 60 fire engines attended it. There's no other brigade in the UK that could have dealt with that incident. And these are all things that should be addressed by the public inquiry. But again, Matt Rack's absolutely right. If we feel that this is a cover-up and it's not answering the questions, then we will walk away from it.
Is that helpful, though, to actually threaten to walk away and, in effect, boycott the inquiry?
This is not something we want to do, Bill. We've put a lot of pressure on this government. We've tried to work alongside them. We've been as helpful as we can be. We've put forward our own health and safety people and our experts. But, ultimately, our priority is to the victims of Grenfell. And if we feel that this public inquiry is not answering their questions, if it's just going to be a cover-up, if it's just going to turn into a Hutton inquiry, then I think we owe it to those victims to make our concerns heard. And the head of your union has also said the tragedy should topple the government. But given that a lot of those failings came under the government of Tony Blair, Labour government, is it fair that the Tory government should solely be blamed for this? This is beyond politics. This isn't really about Labour versus the Conservatives. But, Matt Rack is absolutely right.
But he is politicising it, isn't he, by saying those comments? You're saying it's beyond politics, but actually what he said is political. Well, look, what we know is what has taken place over the last 3 years in London alone in regards to the cuts to the fire service. Now, in Kensington and Chelsea, where Grenfell took place, fire cover has been cut over the last 3 years by 50%, and that is by a Conservative government and a Conservative administration. Now, what we do know is that at Grenfell, at that building, at that mass grave currently standing in West London, not far from where I'm sitting, we know that 80 people lost their lives. Now, Bill, they didn't lose their lives because of war or famine. They lost their lives because of the decisions a Conservative mayor made at the time that cut fire regulations, cut funding to the fire service, and more importantly, closed down fire stations and cut firefighters. Lucy, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Lucy Masoud, live here on RT UK. Thanks indeed for your time.